Hello, everybody. This is a very exciting little chat that we're going to have today because I am so excited to introduce to you my friend and author, wonderful, wonderful lady named Ivy Hart Vallow. And since we've been talking about a certain kind of workshop that's coming to Ottawa, first of its kind. This is especially really cool and exciting that we are going to talk to Ivy. Hi, Ivy.
Why, hello there. How are you, Radha? How's it going?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Well, thanks for taking the time because this is a really exciting topic that so many people are interested in, but nobody really wants to talk about. So let's
Well, I
spearhead
think
it.
I think the thing about that though, Ivy, is that I think a lot of the people don't really fully understand the scope of it or the what it actually is about. And that's why I think it's important to have this conversation to actually open up this particular line of talk where we can go directly to our source, who is in the midst of all these things, deeply buried with all of the stuff, the knowledge, the background, the training, the writing of everything that you do. So it's more like thank you for taking the time to come in and doing this conversation. And I know you're in Calgary, and we're not just distance apart, we're also hours apart. So it's
True.
amazing. Thank you.
Of
I'd
course.
like to kind of, like, okay, so I know you, right? And I can talk about you. But I actually want you to give us a bit of introduction about who Ivy Hart Vallow is.
Well, she is a writer. First and foremost, she's a writer. She always has been a writer. And I've always been a writer, but Ivy Hart Fallow is my pen name. But she's the part of me that falls deep into the desire and the exciting part of romance. And that's essentially what rogue romance is. It's about that amazing moment that two people share and that crescendo of that moment. But the thing is in my journey of becoming Ivy Hart Vallow, I actually discovered that a lot of people are very shy when it comes to talking
Mm,
about sex, desire, emotion evolved in it, everything surrounding that topic. And so I became more than just writing. I kind of took it as a personal mission to push everything out there, put it in your face to the point where it's more of a kind of like a fantasy encyclopedia. Through the writing, you can find different proclivities that might, help you find something new and jazz things up in bed. But then I went even further and I became a sex coach,
mhm,
sexologist, the whole bit.
mhm.
So there's a bit of umph behind my writing. It's not just fantasy or just something beautiful that I conjured up in my mind. Sometimes it's a pathway for you to be able to have an amazing moment with your partner or spouse or whatever. And so the Book of Desire, and yet doing all of that, people still didn't want to talk about it. And mainly it's because they didn't know where to start. It is,
Yes,
as we both know, it is a
that's it.
huge topic.
Yes.
And so, well, what do I like? Simple question. What do I like? I mean, we
Mm,
know what we're supposed to like. We know
yeah,
what society
yeah,
tells us to like,
that's right.
but it's exciting when you go just a little deeper into that. And that's what the Book of Desire is. It's gonna kind of give you gentle nudges in terms of
Hmm,
showing you different aspects that are out there. And
hmm.
you yourself will decide what excites you and where there's some aliveness on the inside. And then you get the permission to be able to explore it. So that's
Love that.
essentially what the Book of Desire is.
I love that. So you did say that it is not just something that you conjured up in your head and
Yeah.
you just kind of poured it into a book. There's a lot of background to it. There's a lot of knowledge to it. There's a bunch of training that you have indulged in to learn more, to find out more about all of this stuff. So you are able to educate this. And I think that's where we were just a natural fit because that's what the
Mhm.
Radiance chapter is all about. I want to bring people out to have conversations about things that they don't think that they can have, that they don't understand where to begin. What kind of stuff are they going to talk about? These are huge things to talk about. And
Mhm.
sensuality, sexuality, relationships that you have that they call behind closed doors and
Mhm.
or your desires is how do you I actually don't think people fully understand what that means. I don't think they fully know what desires mean. And part of this workshop that really catches my attention that you have brought out is creating archetypes. I think that, okay, so we know about characters, we know about personalities, we know about all of these things, but archetypes, like that's a whole other ball. I want you to talk about archetypes. I want you to tell me if I was walking into the Book of Desire workshop and I'm
Mhm.
looking at this part where it says developing archetypes or understanding them or recognize them, what does
Yeah.
that actually mean?
So we all have that little part of us that comes through. And so essentially the archetypes, it's through a really tongue-in-cheek type of quiz, and you just choose what calls to you at first. That's about it. It's not, we're not going deep into it. We're not reading encyclopedias or anything like that. It truly is a quiz. And essentially, you're choosing what speaks to you most. So, are
Mhm.
you a romantic? Are you an exhibitionist? Are you a controller? Are you a devotee? And then there is one more that I cannot remember at the top of my head, but alas, you go through it all, and then we go through imagery, and
Mhm.
you're able to really connect with that
Mhm.
part of yourself. We're disconnecting from the brain, we're listening to the body, we're going to find out where desire lives inside you, and
Love
that's
it.
basically done with a deep dive meditation. And you're gonna really understand yourself. And when we go through the imagery, you're gonna feel it in your body. What excites you?
Love this.
Where does it excite you? And where do you want to go next? What do you want to discover next? And that's kind of where the doors open after that to go listen to an audio and figure it out with Rogue Romance and just be able to say, okay, well, this is an excellent idea on how I can implement this in my life and have great time.
Okay. So thank you for bringing in Go Listen to the Audio, because that's where I was going next. Because you did not just write this book, and you did not, like, this is your first like actual print book,
Yeah,
The Quiet Acid. And can I tell you, I'm, like, really loving this. This is so good. This is so good.
glad.
Okay. But this is like your first real novel. It's a two-part novel, but you've been writing for years. And I think a lot of
Mhm.
that is visible in the rogueromance.com, where you have audiobooks, like little short stories that you have created that people
Yeah,
can go and listen to, and actually creates the backdrop of all of this. Can you, like, quick introduction of what that
of
is?
course. Yeah, absolutely. So I've been writing forever, and when I discovered that I was actually really good at writing the
You
sections,
are really good at writing. Please
thank
take
you.
that from me.
It takes you into that moment. But when I discovered that particular talent, I wasn't interested in writing novels. I wasn't interested in character development, and that's kind of Rogue Romance,
Yes.
no character development, but there's always a climax. And so it's literally just very quick stories. They're kind of in and out, no pun intended. And
Mhm.
it's literally you get in the scene, you hear it, and it's made for audio, not reading. So you can keep both
Yeah.
free. And so essentially you listen to a fantasy, and they're all like this real world where none of them take place in Mars, none of them take place, out in romantasy
Thank
land.
God.
I know
Mhm.
they're all in this world, and essentially the hope is you get inspired
Mhm.
and you get excited and
Mhm.
you kind of want to live that story, and it's all doable. So that all came later. This was just a platform for me to like just put all my smut out there. So,
Ah.
and then it just grew. It grew into a platform that I'm like, people, if you need inspiration, go there. Go there. There's some really exciting things
So
on
tell
there.
us, how do we go there, and how do we get to your books, your
Yes.
audiobooks?
Yep. Go to rogueromance.com. You're going to have to sign up with your email, and then the library is there. You can listen to every audio for 2 minutes to see if that's what interests you. And then you can just go ahead and purchase a credit and listen to the rest.
Love it. That is so simplified. It's almost like an Audible, but it's your
Yes,
own particular way of doing it. And
correct.
it's amazing that you have it under your name and your banner, and not really like an audiobook on like an Audible, which is kind of cool. So it has its own niche, which means that every audio that we listen to has its specific line that it's following, which I love. This is
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, what really is in the background of Ivy Heart Valor? What really creates this to happen? What is it that you haven't yet told me?
Oh. Rather, there's just so much.
Okay, so you know I love to get the deets. So there is no girly without details here.
I
Like
I
you gotta
agree.
do it.
I agree. Well, I mean, on the Ivy Heart Fallow, there is definitely more novels coming. There's more audios coming.
It's amazing.
And then there's ways that you can implement stuff in your life that is essentially helping you to be able to implement desire, intimacy, um, wellness. Because, I always say, who isn't happy when they're satisfied?
Absolutely.
And that's a true statement at the end of the day. When everything in the bedroom is taken care of, everybody just has another hop in their step, So it's good for the soul.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And I think that that is where the misunderstanding seems to happen, where people don't realize that it is actually a very large part of wellness. And for
Yeah.
women, especially for women, because it is interlocked. Like desire is basically interlocked with how your brain
Mhm.
functions. Like it's really how our happy hormones, that is serotonin and our
Yeah.
dopamine, come into action and then create that atmosphere for harmony. And that's what we need to have, is harmony with wellness, our body, who are functioning, our brain functioning properly. And that's such an important point that you have made, because we talk about sensuality and we talk about, sex, and it's like, oh my God, but you
Yeah.
don't understand that's the most intrinsic part of our lives, of our well lives, like lives that allow to be lived well and
Yeah.
happily. And that's where it comes in. So I absolutely love that you bring it. And I think the reason why I'm super excited about this workshop is because it is actually focused on that.
Yeah.
Your
Absolutely.
focus is wellness. Your focus is health and wellness of women. Uh, it's stemming from a place of information about desire. It is coming down to a place where they can now understand themselves, how their body works, how their mind may or may not, be helpful or unhelpful in these places, because we have to kind of unlearn a lot of the things that we have been taught since we were brought up as girls, into women, into all these relationships that we have entered. And then we have to discover something new. And I think that, like, kind of peeling the onion layers off of yourself takes a while, and an
Correct.
expert to kind of guide you through that, which I love that we have you. Wow. Like, who could have imagined? I love this. So this is superly exciting. We are looking at July 19th for our workshop, and it's an all day. And you
Yeah.
do have a sound bath as part of it. So just kind of I just want to quickly touch on the sound bath part, because that's kind of cool. So why include that?
So, sound bath is known for relaxation, and the whole purpose of being able to connect with your desire is to let go of your mental
Mm,
judgments. And sound, just in general, allows you to just stop, relax, fall into your body. And
mm,
that's essentially why the meditation part and the sound is included, because we're going to be working in the morning, we're going to be journaling, we're going to be
yeah.
finding ourselves. And then right after that, shortly thereafter that, it's about coming whole to yourself, paying attention to the body before
Yeah.
we move forward.
Yeah.
So it's all very important in terms of understanding where your desire lives, what your desire is. And if you don't, essentially, if you don't pay attention to that, how can you ask for something more later on in
Mm.
life if you don't know what you want as a person? So that's really the underlining purpose of the Book of Desire. So it'll be great.
Absolutely. Love it. That's perfect. I love it. I love that you are able to bring in those different elements into a workshop for a day, because we have lots of things that we look at the agenda. We have
Mhm.
it posted already, and it's a really cool, like, layered look of what we're going to do for the day. And
Yeah.
it's amazing. And I'm thoroughly looking forward to it. I'm very excited about this.
Excellent. Me too. I'm looking forward to it. So, July 19th, like you said, it's a full day affair, and there's still some spots available. So, if anybody's
Yeah,
interested,
I just want to ask you really quickly. What do you suggest should women come in, like, wearing? Because the question always is, what are we wearing for this?
absolutely. I would be true to yourself, but know that you also want to be comfortable.
Yeah.
In terms of specifically the meditation part, you do want to be able to let go. So if you're in like tight clothing and restricted, maybe it might be a little difficult to just fall into the body, but Be true to yourself. That is the only way to go. Whatever you're comfortable in, whatever you feel good in, whatever you feel desired in or sexual, just do it. There's
Love
no
it.
judgment. That's what
Love
that's
it.
what it's about.
Love it. No judgment ever. We don't believe in
Exactly.
that. That's
100%.
amazing. Well, if you were in front of me sitting on my chair, I would have given you a high five. But since we don't have that,
Exactly.
a virtual high five
Virtual.
to you.
Exactly. Likewise.
I know. And Radiance Chapter is honored to work with you on this. And we are super excited to collaborate continuously with Real Romance. And I am looking forward to like future goals as well. So I'm very excited about this. It's
Absolutely.
great to get a chance to talk to you. And let's get you going with the introduction to everybody else so they can understand what they're coming and doing at this workshop. This is great.
Perfect. Sounds great.
Awesome.
Okay. Thanks so much, Radha.
Thank you.
Okay. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.